Katlego, thank you very much indeed. Let's chat a bit more about this now. Makoma Lekalakala, who is the Director of Earthlife Africa, joins me now. Mr. Lekalakala, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We appreciate your time. So, I know that Earthlife Africa was one of the organizations demanding greater openness in this particular process. Your reaction, first of all, to the withdrawal?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers. Firstly, we applaud the Minister for having taken a decision to withdraw the gazetted 2,500 determination, and also for doing this publicly. We have been requesting information from NESA and from the Ministry regarding what suspensive conditions were given and how has the Minister fulfilled that. And we have not had any responses at all. But at the end, I think also the Minister has also need to indicate that the Integrated Resource Plan 2023 is still yet to be reviewed. It still has also got to be on the public. The public has got to submit their views around that. And so the 2023 Integrated Resource Plan is the one that would guide if there is still a need or how much nuclear do we need to have in our energy mix. And also the electricity regulation, Section 34, which the Minister correctly withdrew the determination, it requires that all electricity generation to be considered, it has got to be least cost economic option. So I think from our side, we are confident that if there is an inclusive and fully transparent process like the Minister indicates, there will be no need for no new nuclear energy for South Africa in the future.
Yes, a lack of transparency in the process was one of your major concerns. In addition to that, what were the greater problems or concerns that you had about this process?
Firstly, when NESA gave the determination, they said they are giving that with suspensive conditions, that the Minister then had to give reasons to, I think, about 3 or 4 issues that NESA had raised, that the Minister needs to respond to that, and that was also relating to the cost. And we've heard so many times that South Africa, from different ministers, that they would invest in nuclear at a pace and scale that the country would afford. So that information was very important, and that information had to come to the public so that we can also comment or scrutinize or either agree or don't agree with what the Minister was going to submit to NESA as part of fulfilling the suspensive conditions that we're giving. So transparency is quite important, and we know that you can't rush this process no matter what. So that is at the core of our concern, that the process has not been transparent enough. NESA was supposed to come back to the public and said, this is what the Minister had, Minister's responses to the conditions, the suspensive conditions that you said you need to give us more information. NESA did not do that, and that's why we raised eyebrows to say it seems like there's something wrong here. It's like there is a rush just to get into nuclear, and also not even considering the very Section 34 of the Electricity Regulation Act that nuclear is quite expensive. And not expensive only economically, but also expensive in terms of environmental harm.
Were those one of the aspects that were not taken into account, in addition to the lack of transparency, issues relating to cost?
Yes, that is what we're expecting the Minister now to share, to fulfill, as to how much cost of the new nuclear build would be, that 2,500 megawatts. And we ascertained from our side that the costs are too huge. And I don't think the country would afford, particularly that there has been this, emphasis that you can only get into nuclear build at the pace and scale that the country can afford. So we're waiting for those economic costs but also for the environmental cost of the whole build.
I mean, what does this mean for future gazettes? Certainly, with organizations such as yourself having raised the alarm bells to say that there needs to be more transparency to this process. What does it mean for future gazettes?
I think what is important is that there is consultation with the people before any decision is gazetted. It must go through the process of consultation, but also that we need to. This is a sign. I think the minister is a trailblazer in a sense that he alerts other ministries and other departments to say you cannot just do as you wish. The processes that are there in the constitutions, in the regulations, in the policies have got to be adhered to. So I think this is like saying to anyone in the future, make sure that before you gazette, that you have fulfilled and you have satisfied all the requirements for that decision.
Makoma Lekalakala, thank you very much indeed from Earthlife Africa, talking to us, of course, about that decision that was announced yesterday. Thank you very much indeed for your time. We appreciate it here on the SABC News Channel.